that's really known about him is he got killed by a grizzly bear.
Is that Bridger?
No, his name is Lulu or Lolo.
Oh.
So there's the town of Lolo, there's Lolo Creek, there's Lolo Pass, there's Lolo National Forest, and all they know is there's like a dude that lived on a tributary to that creek, and he got killed by a grizzly. That's like really all I know about the guy. Anyways, I did a thing about where they think he might have been buried. And I did all these other things. It was like this thing, it was like these like ads that were on History Channel. And I would go and check out something that was interesting, but there'd be like these driving shots, right? Where you like drive there in a Subaru. So the way that stuff works is you have to buy the car just for insurance purposes. Like you buy the car from them and like invoice them for the car purchase.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how common this is. But anyways, I got to keep, when it was all said and done, I got the car. So we were going to sell it, but my wife started to drive it, and now we've had this thing we've had this car since 2009.
They're bulletproof.
Yeah, my wife drives it. And my wife's like very, when it comes to vehicles and stuff, like she's very pragmatic.
Joey Diaz drives nothing but Subarus.
Yeah. Why would you buy a car if you got a car for free?
Yeah, is this your ads? Oh, okay, you young, fresh-faced
Dude, I was about like
Steve
4
Rinella.
years old.
Look at you.
It was like 4.
Who's the guy with the hat?
He was the guy I wrote a magazine profile on that he hunts for old denim.
So this is 2007? Look how
No, 2009 maybe.
Fine. I saw some old homestead cabins down here. I can't leave any stone unturned. I have to check it.
So yeah, that dude I wrote a piece, I did that one because I wrote a piece about that guy. He would go, I want to get back to this thing about this car, but this is interesting. So, you know the earthquake in San Francisco and the big fire, whatever the hell year that happened?
Yeah.
Late 1800s. What was that? Earthquake that destroyed San Francisco. Levi's lost their own catalog. They lost their own library of their clothes they made. So like Levi's denim,
1906.
they made, in that fire, Levi's lost their sort of history. Okay.
Wow.
So Levi's knows they made clothing that they know from advertisements that they have no physical representation of.
Wow.
So I wrote a piece about these dudes that they would go hunting around in mine shafts and stuff and find old ass denim. And the coolest thing to find was you would find a very old pre-1906 pair of Levi's. And these things would sell for like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to collectors. They're always like buckle back jeans. So like they had buckles in the back, a couple buckles in the back, and that's how you cinch them up. So like if you found, collectors are called buckle backs. Yeah, there you go. So this dude.
So was this before they figured out belts?
Yeah, it's just how they used to tie them, man, like buckle backs.
Huh.
So this dude, he got into that vintage denim stuff, but he also would find old clothes and sell them to collectors, sell them to people making films, looking for period clothing. And I went and I drove around with him in Nevada and wrote a profile on him. I think it was called like the Brotherhood of the Very Expensive Pants. It was when I was a writer for Outside.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, you know the coolest thing I found in the week I spent with him was a pair plugging up there's an old cabin on a ranch, and it had 2 chimneys, and at some point in time someone had moved his wood stove from one end of the cabin to the other and plugged the old chimney hole with a pair of jeans.
Wow.
And we go in there, so he'll go in and he'd strike a deal with ranchers. He'd be like, listen man, and a lot of times he's like, I'm gonna look around in your old buildings and stuff, and I find something, I'll buy it from you. They'd be like, bullshit, get out of here, And just to turn him on, he would also look at whatever he could see. He would look and give him an insane price for nonsense, just to butter him up.
Really?
Oh yeah. Perhaps he had to point to something.
So to let the guy know that he's got a real possible windfall here.
Yeah, and then the guy's like, well, damn, son, let's have a look. And he'd be in there buying saddle blankets.